Welcome back to the She Thrives Influential Women podcast. I am your host, Lori Murphy, and I am an empowerment coach for women. It is great to be back with all of you ladies today. I took the week of 4th of July off and went and spent the whole week in the Adirondacks. My husband's family has a little lake house in a little town called Forestport, and we just had a nice, relaxing weekend and just taking a break, right? Like, I know I've talked about this before, but I usually always still do something work-wise when I go there. And I just really wanted to just take some time to just not work, right? Because I'm always working. I have a full-time job in the business, and there's so many awesome things that have come up, and I'm just so thrilled about. But I also have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. And that is something that I have really been paying attention to lately, based on how I'm feeling, based on how I react to certain situations, and just really trying to get back to basics, right? Of self care, making sure I'm taking care of my mental health as well as my physical health. So, that was the primary focus of my week, was just to get reset and recharged. And I'm sure you can hear my cat right now making a lot of talking noises upstairs above me. And that is because that there is a little visitor in my basement window right now, a beautiful black cat, and he is handsome. But she knows he's out there, so now she's just talking up a storm. So, I'm sorry about the noise, but you might have to listen to sassy chat too. So, um, but so many of you are new to the podcast. Welcome. If you haven't already listened through the previous episodes, a little bit about me. Like I mentioned, am an empowerment coach for women. It is my passion and it is my mission to be a guide to women, helping them overcome fear, build their confidence, find their self-worth, and thrive in all areas of their lives. You don't have to come to me if you're struggling. You can come to me because you have goals, but for some reason, there's something blocking you from being able to get there. And I get to help you find out what those blockages are and move them aside. And if you are struggling, we can get down to what the struggle is and work through it so that you can also take that and move it aside and overcome it. My journey started about 13 years ago. I was an alcoholic, belligerent. I was struggling financially to take care of myself. I was not healthy. I was not well. Things were very dark for me. I struggled with depression, anxiety, complex PTSD, which I did not get diagnosed with the PTSD until I was in my 30s, and I was a few years sober at that point, probably about 7 or 8 years sober. Um, so there has been a lot of growth and healing in my journey. There has also been a massive weight loss journey, is a whole part of it, because when I gave up alcohol, I replaced alcohol with food, a lot of sugar, a lot of baked goods, a lot of greasy foods, and I became obese. And so I had to make some choices to really get to a healthy place. And between the healing from trauma, healing from the hurts and all of the things, overcoming fear, losing weight, there's just been a huge amount of transformation in my life over the last 13 years. And it has led me to this place to guide women achieve the same things. I am certified in holistic health and wellness. I am certified as a life coach, and I also have a certification as an inside coach. And that's what I love to do. Listen, you get a safe space here with me. And I listen and I guide you, I give you insight and prompt you with questions to get you down, so we can dig deeper and deeper and find that resolve, right? And it's just, I love being able to do this for others. It's just, God did not place me on my path for no reason. I truly believe that I was called to this work, and I am just following his lead. So, with that, let's talk about the topic for today, which, very sorry about the noise up there, guys. I don't know. She's all sorts of crazy. And the fact is, do all of this in my cellar, so she is right above my head. So every little sound probably is being picked up, sounding worse than it is. But you know what? I don't edit. I want everything to be real, and I want everything to be very transparent and filter free. I mean, this is reality, right? And right now I have a cat who wants to talk more than I do, apparently. And I have another cat that doesn't even belong to me outside my window watching me. It's kitty cat chaos is what it is. But um not what I wanted to talk about today at all. I'm going to get right back to the point of my topic for today, which is bullying. I I kind of found myself in a rabbit hole this weekend that I really wish I didn't go down. And this particular rabbit hole that I went down, and I'm going to try not to go too much into detail. I'm sure some of you might know what I'm talking about if you find yourself going on TikTok and seeing all of the viral videos about this particular thing. But there was a group of girls in Utah that were bullying a classmate of theirs. She was a 13-year-old girl, and they bullied her for 4 years. And sadly, she ended up taking her own life because the pain just got to be too great. And my heart is so broken for this young girl and her family. And she was this beautiful girl who had this whole life in front of her and felt that she had no other choice but to make that decision. And her mother is advocating for bullying and starting a foundation to be able to give support to other kids that are going through what her daughter went through, which is amazing because we need that kind of awareness and we need that kind of support. I don't know if any of you were bullied in school, but I was. And I am so grateful that social media was not around during that time, because I think that it's just kind of made things worse. And so having advocacy and having support, someplace to go and turn, I think is very needed for these young kids to know that they're not alone and they don't have to make that choice to get away from it. But the point of this is, I'm also noticing that now that all of this has gone viral, these girls, regardless of what other people's opinions are, and I know that this could be a very controversial topic, but these girls are being bullied. They are receiving death threats from people on the internet and having videos posted have gone viral with their phone names, their social media platforms, their home addresses, all of their personal information being exposed. And there are adults, people that are my age, in their 40s, older or younger, that are attacking these girls for being responsible for this young girl's loss of life, tragic loss of life. Now, I don't want to get into who's right, who's wrong, as far as, and I don't really want to get into any of that, but I want to make this point very, very clear. And that is bullying others does not work. And if you're bullying the bully, it does not make the situation better. Responding to hatred with hate does not make the situation better. It just continues the cycle of hatred and toxicity and hurt and pain, making it very difficult for people to move forward in their lives, to try to heal their own wounds, to be able to forgive themselves for their wrongdoing, or to be forgiven for their wrongdoing. Hurt people hurt people. It is not something that most people set out to do. They're not born that way. It's something happened to that person. They were traumatized, they were hurt, they're going through their own struggles, and the only way they know how to make themselves feel better is to bring others down. Now, sometimes bullies go overboard and they take it to a level that that is brutal and and disgusting. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because somewhere there is a disconnect with the mental health system, the support these kids are getting in school. As adults, the support that we're getting at home or at work. Hopping on social media and attacking somebody else, regardless if you agree with them or not, does not problem solve. It just doesn't. It makes things worse. I see women shaming women constantly. Young women shaming a woman who's decided to go, like a celebrity, for instance. Here's a perfect example, Keanu Reeves' wife. Very natural, beautiful woman. She's got beautiful gray hair. She looks her age, and she does nothing to try to make herself look younger. She is who she is, and she's natural and she's beautiful. And I saw a picture of the two of them on Instagram, and in the comment section, women were bashing her for looking her age, for having gray hair. That's the thing, ladies. We need to be lifting each other up. We need to be supporting each other. If somebody wants to go and color their hair, support them. Tell them that they look beautiful. If somebody wants to go completely gray and be completely natural, support them. Tell them that they're beautiful. If you see a woman on the side, walking down the street and she's rocking a killer outfit, tell her, "You look awesome. I love your outfit." Lift each other up. If you're at work and another female has accomplished something good, cheer her on, show her support, encourage her. We need to be lifting each other up, ladies. We need to be bringing each other up. We need to be supporting each other. We need to be carrying each other through the darkness and bringing each other to light. We need to know that we are a force that, not to be reckoned with here, because the thing is that we as women have a lot working against us already. So bullying each other is not the solution. If you are somebody who's advocating against bullying, but you're bullying somebody yourself, thinking that that's going to stop them, telling them that they're getting what they deserve, you need to step back and you need to look at that. a little more closely and find out what is triggering you. Because I think a lot of us have been bullied in our youth. Like I said, I was. I've shared this before, and I remember I was a little kid, and I would go to school and I had no friends. Like I'd walk around at recess, at lunchtime, while all of the kids were playing games and all the girls in my class were, in cahoots, playing whatever they were, game they were playing. And I walked around by myself. I walked around all alone. I was picked on, I was made fun of, and my siblings were too. So my mother moved us to another school. Same town, we just went from a private school to a public school. And I get on the bus, and the first thing I hear is kids laughing. And I remember the kid that even came up with this name, Dogface and Bug Eyes. That was my nickname from third grade through elementary school, Dogface and Bug Eyes. I was made fun of because I didn't have the nicest clothes. My clothes most of the time were hand-me-downs. My mother was a stay-at-home mother. My father worked full-time, 70-hour days or 70-hour weeks at times to support a family of 6. And times back then were nothing like they are now. Inflation, forget it. I don't know how anybody does it. But a lot of times I was wearing my sister's hand-me-downs. She was only 18 months older than me. So I didn't always, we shopped at stores like Kmart. We didn't shop at all of the, higher end clothing stores. We didn't have, but what we did have? We had a beautiful home. My father worked hard to provide us with a beautiful home. My mother took care of us. We had clothes on our backs, clean clothes, food in our bellies. We were loved. And furthermore, we had an entire furnished basement full of toys, and we had a backyard with a shed full of, sand toys. We had a swimming pool, a basketball court. We had that stuff because our parents worked hard to provide it for us, but they, a lot of that, none of that really matters. My point is that I didn't have any friends to share any of that with. My mom was the troop leader for my Girl Scout troop, and I had a lot of the girls in my troop only came to my troop because the popular girls troop was full, so they couldn't get in with that. So they were disappointed that because they got stuck with me. I mean, that is the stuff that I dealt with. And then when I went into junior high, the names started getting worse. I mean, going into high school, the names were the stuff that came out of some of these people's mouths was just, it baffled me. And the thing is that I was going through my own personal turmoil when my parents' marriage fell apart, and I was hurting. And I wasn't able to see that they were hurting too. I didn't see that till much later in life, when I actually stopped and paid attention, or I heard their story and realized that a lot of the things that were going on was hurt people, hurt people. I'm fortunate that a lot of those situations, a lot of those people, amends has been made, there's been connection, there's been discussion, things have been resolved, and I can go on social media and be friends with them on social media, and we'll message each other, or give each other shout outs on each other's Facebook pages, and support each other, because we are no longer in that place. But does that happen regularly? And I don't think it is. I don't think that that happens often. And I think that if we were to give at least one person walking down the street a compliment, that could really change the energy in this world. Is it gonna stop the violence? No. Is it gonna stop the hatred completely? No. But if we could do our part to not contribute to the hate and replace hate with something loving, I think that that could really help us win, right? Like, especially women to women. And it's such a hot mess today. Guys, we gotta lift each other up. We gotta stop bullying each other. And the thing is that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You ever hear that saying when you were a child? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Whatever happened to that? When did it be okay to disclose publicly other people's personal information so that it opens up a door to more hatred or, bullying, or God forbid, something harmful, violent? I don't care how, you know, let God handle the repercussion. Let God be the one that to judge. Let God be the one to take care of all of that. Let the parents of the kids that are bullying be the ones to step up and take action. Let the school be the ones to intervene and try to help and figure out what they can do to make this stuff stop. If you're an adult and this is happening at work, take it to your supervisors, take it to your boss. Do what you have to do. And if it doesn't stop, quit your job and go somewhere else. You don't have to stay in it. You have that choice. As an adult, kids unfortunately don't know what their choices are. And if there's nobody giving them that guidance, they don't know that there is another way. No one should be taking their own lives because they were bullied so bad they didn't know that there was another way out. I'm not a parent, so I can't tell parents how to parent their kids. I can't, and I won't do that. I can't say what the school should do to, to intervene. I don't think there's anything different that I could say that hasn't already been said. If the school is aware that these things are going on, they need to step up. And if, like I said, you're working in an office and bullying's going on at work and your employers aren't stepping up to, intervene and try to make this a safe and healthy work environment, then you need to find another job. You don't have to participate in reciprocating with more hate. You can take care of yourself and remove yourself from an unhealthy and toxic situation. Nobody should be bullied or abused or beat down. We have a choice as adults where we get to decide the kind of person that we want to be, how we want to be remembered when we exit this world. I know for me, I choose to be remembered for good. I choose to be remembered as somebody that, and it's not even in my past life. I mean, I'm talking now. I want people to know that they are safe here with me, that they can come to me and I'm not going to pass judgment on them. I'm not going to shed negativity to them. I'm not going to beat them down. I'm not going to tell you, that you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you that you're doing life wrong. I'm not going to tell you anything that's going to hurt you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to give you love and kindness. And if you need the kick in the butt that you need, then I'll give that to you. But bottom line is I'm not going to bully you. I'm not going to give that to you. I'm not going to give you that energy. That's just not how I am. And if someone's going to come at me and bully me, well, then I'm going to turn around and walk away. I'll set my boundaries. I will be setting my boundary of I will not take this and I will walk away. Luckily, I don't face bullying. I don't face hatred. None of that really comes at me in my life. And I'm very grateful for that, that I do have a safe place to be. And I don't have to deal with that kind of negativity because I remove it if it comes my way. I don't reciprocate. Let's lift each other up. You ladies are so beautiful. All of you ladies that are listening to this are amazing. You are brilliant. You are courageous. You are strong. You're vibrant. I see you all shining. And I'm here to keep lifting you up. We rise together. So do you choose to help each other rise, to show love, to show kindness? You don't have to tear people down. And it's not up to you to fix them. It's not up to you to try to figure out what's wrong with them. You are not responsible for that. You are responsible for you. Be part of the solution. Don't be part of the problem. We can change the world, even if it's just a tiny little bit, if we come together and show love. Stop responding to hate with hate. Stop bullying the bully. It's not going to work. It's just going to progressively make things continue to get worse. This has been something that has been on my mind and on my heart since I went down that rabbit hole. And that was another thing I realized too, is that I really have to pull myself away from the social media world a bit. You know, I know I was saying this the other day, how I like to sit sometimes at the end of my day to just shut my brain off and to numb out my mind. I will scroll through social media. I will watch cat videos. And when I said it, it's almost like I'm trying to numb my brain. I stopped and I went, addiction. That's why I drank. That's why I ate fattening foods. That's why I smoked cigarettes. That's why I did drugs. That's why I did all of those things that I was so addicted to. I can be a workaholic. That's another thing I have to be mindful of. That's why I try to take breaks, because I have a tendency to want more. So with my business, I have momentum, right? So I got to keep going. I need more and more and more. But that doesn't work, right? So, it's addiction. When I sit there and use Facebook, or I try not to really get too wrapped up in the TikTok world. I mostly use TikTok just for my own personal videos, but that one day I just kind of got sucked right in. I usually kind of bounce between Facebook and Instagram, and I will watch cat videos or reels from TV shows that I like. But so what I've been trying to do is shift over to actually really focusing on reading. So the time that I would actually be scrolling through my phone, I've been picking up a book and at least reading one chapter. And I'm finding that that's kind of breaking me out of that habit, and I'm filling my brain full of knowledge. The book I'm reading right now is amazing. Um, I'm really excited for what it's doing for me and what it could do, how it can help me help others, right? It's just more knowledge, more growth. And I kind of just went off on another tangent, but that's what I do. So, but the point is that it is very easy to get sucked down into those rabbit holes, and getting sucked into reading comments on posts that are full of negativity and hate. I realize that there is not a lot of love as much as there is judgment and hate. There's a lot of tearing people down rather than lifting people up. It's not just with celebrities, it's with everyday regular people. The haters or the trolls or whatever you call them. We don't have to be that way. Social media can be such a blessing, but it can also be a curse. It can be a very healthy tool based on how you utilize it, or it could be extremely unhealthy. And lately, I've been, like I said, I got sucked up into a very, very, very dark rabbit hole. And because something came up on TikTok about that situation. And then I started watching, well, what is this about? I've never even heard of this. And then I researched it, and then it was video after video, after video. And the more I saw and the more I read, the more I could feel my chest tightening up and tears welling up in my eyes, because it just, it's such a horrendous situation that this is what this world was going on in this world. All of this hate, so much so that a young girl didn't feel that she had any other way to resolve it. Breaks my heart. And then to see how the world of social media has taken it to a whole nother level, where their reaction is to attack and to hurt because they hurt. Let, let's all just butt out of stuff that has nothing to do with us and stop reacting to hate with hate. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to me today on my rant about bullying and love. And it means the world to me to give love and kindness. Like, it's just, sometimes I have a really hard time wrapping my head around how bad things can get and how bad things are. Even the stuff that I've endured in my life, the things that I've experienced, the hurtful things that have happened to me. I have a lot of trauma. Okay. And I'm so grateful that I don't hurt people today as a result of that. That I was able to acknowledge that this is something that's going on inside me, and I can't continue to go down the path I was going. And I still have a lot of work to do, guys. The healing journey is an amazing journey, because sometimes even you think that you're good, something else kind of comes up that you're like, oh, mm. And I've grown to love the healing journey so much that when I realize that there might be something else that, you know, is there, I like to navigate through it and work through it. Because not only does it make me a healthier person, and not only does it benefit me in a positive way, not only does it help my mental health and my physical health, but I can turn it around and use it to help others. It's just the gift that keeps on giving, in my opinion. It just is. you know? I'm just so grateful that I don't have to be the person that hurts others to try to make myself feel better, because that's just not living to me. That's for me, and that's just me only. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review. Give this podcast a 5-star review so that it keeps circulating through all of the whole platform so people can find the podcast easier. Um, Make sure you hit subscribe, never miss another episode. And furthermore, follow me on the social media platforms. You can also friend request me, send me a message. You know, how can I be of service to you? How can I help you in your journey? I'd love to have a conversation. And until next time, let go of fear and let your spirit shine.